welcome back to another video, and we're on another topic, and I'm not done with the last topic. Either way, in this video we're going to be talking about sympathy. When people are sad, when people have sorrow and stuff, it's actually a verse. We're talking about sympathy and on when people are really sad and there's a lot of things going around and they're having a very difficult time in life. But how long should you be sad for? And obviously in the book of the Bible, it's sympathy and sorrow. It does get talked a lot, especially with like people who go into sin and then they're sad for a really long time and stuff. So that's kind of like what we're diving in and like looking at. And my dog, it's not even my dog, but he's just gonna be here. We're gonna be in this chapter, or at least in this series, about topics that aren't usually talked about a lot in Christian groups. I think controversial topics and cultural topics and stuff and politics are talked enough in church. I have heard. Hey! Get out. Out. He's over here trying to steal my sock. Like, excuse me? Back up. Either way, there's this book of the Bible that I actually literally read last night, and it's Isaiah 29:13, and it says, "They honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." This is obviously not about sympathy, but I just really wanted to read this because I thought it was so interesting, because it kind of ties in with sympathy and sorrow, but like not really. But either way, people are sad all the time. People pass away, people have a hard time getting a job, people have miscarriages, stillborns, what else? People end up stopping friends with some people, a lot of things that happen with people and stuff, and it's really sad. And obviously, there's not much you can do about it except like just have sympathy for that person and what they're going through, be able to understand the things that are happening in their life. And in Romans, it talks about criticism and stuff, and like some people are like type of people who are like, oh, I don't do sympathy well, like, or someone's sad, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I just stand there and like stare, or like, I'm like, hey, good job, like, this is so awkward, like, I don't know what to do. And you know what? A lot of people are like that. You're not the only person. And I feel like when it comes to that, like, you have to kind of be a little more aware and be careful for those people who are, struggling through things. There are people who will drag on their sorrow for like days or like months and like keep talking about it, and that's also not really healthy, because also you're bringing down other people's happiness with what's happening with your life. Like, don't do that. Like, not everyone needs to know for days about why you're sad and all of this stuff. Pick yourself back up and continue to work, because guess what? Life still carries on. Like, life does not stop because you're stopping. That's not how it happens. But I think with like a lot of people, you gotta be careful, obviously. Like it says here in Romans 14, accept other believers who are weak in faith. Do not argue with them. Like, if you will be weak in your faith for a while, you will be weak and feeling sorrow and you feel like God's not doing anything, that's weak in your faith. When you feel like God's not actually helping you with certain things, or that you're kind of alone and you don't have anyone to like help you get back up, which is not true, because you do. You have a lot of people. You have a dog, you have God, you have your church, your community, your friends, your family. And if you don't have family or friends, you have God still. Like, no matter what, God is literally there. And for those who are like, you don't know what to do and what to do not argue with them. Just leave it alone. Just let them, be woe is me in their little sorrow boat. Like, just let them do what they need to do. Let them come to God. Or I would say personally, just stay clear and pray for them. Just be there. Even ask them like in front of you, like, hey, can I pray for you? Tell them like you understand and stuff. Even if you don't, just be like, just lie and be like, Yeah, I understand. I know like lying's not acceptable, obviously, but I think there's a fine line when it comes to that. So like, just accept what is happening in their life and be like, I totally understand. Like, I really hope that the Lord is doing something, or just say something really lovely, because you will be weak in your faith, and there are times when there'll be times when you want someone to be there for you, and you're like, I am struggling, and this is what you would want someone to do for you personally, is to do not argue with them. Who likes arguments anyway? Except the other believer, and that they're having a really hard time with what's happening. Because you have to remember that like one day you will be more happier, and one day you're like all of a sudden like stop. It's like you're drained out of energy. It's like you literally have like no motivation at all. That happens to a lot of people. It's not just like Christians. This happens to like non-believers as well. But I feel like with Christians and stuff, some Christians take it a little more harder than others, and other Christians take it more like, you know what, I'm gonna sit in my sorrow for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, maybe an hour, go take a run, go take a nap, go take a shower, watch a funny video to get yourself out of that that mindset, and then pick yourself back up. Seriously, God doesn't like it when we're just stuck in this like sorrow. Like, it's not fun. It's not something that we want to continue to have. It is healthy to have it. It's healthy to show people that you're sad about this, or that you're having a difficult time understanding this, or like why am I struggling so bad with this, and why am I the one who has to struggle? That is healthy. What is not healthy is continuing it for a week, for 2 weeks, for 4 days. Way too long. 2 days is even too long. Literally, in Christian standpoint, it's a little too long. 2 days is a little too long. Depends on what is happening as well. Like let's say miscarriage. If you have a miscarriage and you're really struggling, you could probably be in that sorrow for probably 2 weeks. I think that's healthy. I think that's fine, because you lost a baby. And it's something that babies are blessings, literally. They're huge blessings in our life. And I feel like when you do lose one and you have no idea why that happened, and you're kind of like mad at God. You're like, what the freak? Like, what the heck? Like, why would you do this to me? Why would you all of a sudden have like this wrath or like this anger towards me? And he doesn't. He actually has a better plan for you. You're just not understanding in the moment, because you're so deep in like sadness and worry and stress, and you're like, what the heck, and like confusion on what just happened, that you're probably taking all your feelings up against him, and which is not fair for God. But also, he's probably the only person who like can handle you getting mad at him. So another thing that actually says in Romans right here is that, so whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. Christ died and rose again for this very purpose, to be Lord both of the living and of the dead. The last one wasn't really clear. I think it's more like Christ died and rose again. I think we need to remember that when we're in this huge like sadness and this this huge like sympathy boat that we're like really struggling to get out of. I feel like we need to understand that like God, Jesus Christ was in the same position as us. When he knew he was gonna die, like right before he was gonna get arrested, right before he died, like he had sorrow. Like he was crying out to his Father, why me? Or like, why do I have to go through this? And he was in this sorrow. Like he died. Like he didn't die obviously, but like he died. He was sad. He was really not happy what was happening. He was in so much pain and confusion. It probably wasn't confusing. I'm pretty sure he knew exactly what was happening. But for us, we're in confusion. But for him, he was in huge pain. And he's like, what the heck? Like, why me? And he knew like he had to do it for a reason. But it doesn't mean that he wasn't like in so much pain from it. Like he was still full human. Like he was 100% human and 100% God. And I feel like we kind of forget that Jesus went through the same exact thing as us. He's not a woman, so he didn't have miscarriages. But he did go through the same sorrow and the same pain that we go through on a daily basis. And as you can see, he didn't stay for very long. He died a very horrible death, and guess what? The next day, he rose again. And that's what you can do. You can die that day, and you can rise up the next day. You don't have to stay in this confusion, in this weird, mindset for a very long time. You can literally stay in it for just a day, and God will understand. It's not bad to, be sad for, an hour. It's not bad to be sad for a day and just be like, man, that sucks. Or, man, I wish it didn't go that way. Or, man, why do I have to be the one who's confused and struggling and trying to figure out why things are happening not my way, but God's way? It's okay to actually deal with that. But the one thing is you have to remember is to rise up again. Don't forget to rise up again. Don't forget that you have another day, another life to live. You're not done. We're not done. We're not dying today and gonna kill ourselves. No, we are going to rise up again, just like Christ did. We're not gonna sit here in sorrow for all eternity. No, I think you want to actually continue to follow God, and I think you actually want to have better days, and you will have better days. There's no day that there are no times during the day that Christ is not there with you. He's there with you every single hour, minute, seconds of the day. Even the next day, and the next day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Even when you get to heaven, he's still with you. So if you are really confused and struggling, and you're like, oh man, I wish I wasn't stumbling and doubting myself and in so much pain, and I don't know how to get out of this, even with health issues, or someone has cancer, or someone got in a car accident. There can be a number of things why you're in a really sad place. But the one thing you just have to remember is you can rise up again, and you deserve to rise up again. You deserve to get back up. You deserve to continue. You deserve to have so much strength to be able to carry yourself to the next day or the next hour. You're not doing it alone either. You're doing it with Christ. And that's the most amazing thing ever. And I think not having Christ in your life would make him much harder, 10 times much harder than having it with him. I think literally, me having Christ in my life, I'm able to get up within that hour and continue. And that's a lot of strength. That's a lot of strength. So please continue to have so much strength, so much willpower to be able to pray to God about the struggles that you're having, because that is not easy. Have confessions and talk to him about what you're struggling with. Not only that, to ask him for strength as well to get through the days you're not doubting yourself and having so much pain and kind of losing yourself in your faith. It is okay to be healthy and to be weak in your faith. That is completely healthy. But I don't think it's healthy for you to continue it throughout multiple days. No, I don't think that's healthy. I think you just need to strive to try to have a conversation with God so he can be able to help you get up. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed.